What's up, boys and girls? This is Lance White, and you are watching WGS-TV.
Welcome to another installment of the WGS-TV anime reviews right here on youtube.com/WrestlingGamer. I am your anime reviewer, Double B Bourgeois, and we're going to continue on with Sekirei, and we're going to be looking at episode 3, The Green Girl. Now, if you guys think back to episode 2, The Door to the New Residence, we see Minato starting getting visions of this young girl who we come to find out is named Kusuno, and she's being nicknamed the Green Girl. So at the start of episode 3 of the Green Girl, we kind of see the events that took place that led to the abnormal plant growth in the arboretum of the city where Minato and Musabi are in. Apparently, the second in command at I know what her name is, but if I say it on here right now, it'll kind of spoil it later, especially in season 2. So all I'm gonna say is she's the second in command on in NBI. So anyway, they show her with Kusuno in a park, and Kusuno's a child, and she's trying to have some fun, and she's trying to she was asking questions about her Ashikabi, being almost like a big brother, and of course she's gonna respond, if you're a good girl, you're gonna get to meet her. And then next thing we see a scythe wielding Sekirei and her Ashikabi attack the scientist. Something's wrong with my beard, I don't know why. Anyway, and they attack the scientist, and then the Ashikabi was wearing a white suit and red hair, attempts to kiss Kusuno, and of course remember that's how they make them emerge. I'll explain that too. They actually give it an actual name later on in the episode. I'll explain what it is. But she fights him off, and then next thing we see Kusuno screaming, and then the plant growth surrounding her, which kind of leads us everyone to believe that they're in the arboretum, and that's what caused the abnormal plant growth in that arboretum. So after the opening credits of the episode, we see Minato waking up. He's still having continuous dreams of Kusuno, and apparently he still hasn't realized yet, about some of his his Ashikabi ability. It will be explained to him in a future episode. I probably shouldn't have said that, but it will be explained to him in a later episode. But he wakes up. He sees Musabi dressed in a PE high school PE uniform, girls. It didn't leave much to the imagination, because remember with Musabi, Izumo, and about 90% of the Sekireis in this episode, Gagangas. Anyway, I'm going to try to get that trending on Twitter, Gagangas, if I can learn how to spell it. If anyone's got an idea how to spell Gagangas, please put it in the comments below, and let's try to get that trending on Twitter. Hey, if Rock can get stuff trending on Twitter, so can I, goddammit! Anyway, back to Sekirei. They wake up and they both go to the balcony, and they see Mia. Remember, Mia's the landlady of Izumo, of Maison Izumo, and they see her outside, and she's sparring by herself with a samurai sword. And let's just say she is very, very skilled for when it comes to using and handling a sword. She basically took a leaf that was falling from a tree and swiped it in half with her sword. And of course, Musabi sees this. She gets excited, jumps off the balcony, wants to spar with Mia. Minato, worried about it because he knows about Musabi's strength and her ability as fist type Sekirei. Tries to get him to stop. Then Izumo stops him in his tracks. And then we see that Mia can really actually handle herself in a fight, and she was they're both kind of enjoying it. Mia was trying to point out a few things that Musabi was doing wrong. Musabi not really having that much experience when it comes to fighting in a Sekirei battle. So Uzume, gets them to stop. Reminds Mia that she's got to cook breakfast because people got places to go. And then we find out that Minato, in order to pay the rent they have at Maison Izumo, he's got a job, and he has a job as a construction worker. So they pan off to that, and we see Minato, getting ready for his lunch, and we see a guy pop up on him. Apparently, he didn't bring his own lunch. Apparently, he's kind of hungry, and Minato offers him something from his lunch. He takes it, tastes a rice ball, and he kind of said, "No, this tastes like," and then he said, "Never mind." Then he said the chicken looked good, and next thing you know, we see two familiar girls dressed in maid uniforms, I guess you can call it, come up, and one of them jumps up, and before the guy can get a taste of Minato's chicken in those lunch was prepared by Mia, she drop kicks him, or roundhouse kicks him or something. They really didn't show the actual kick. I don't want to say drop kick because I would be incorrect. Maybe a roundhouse kick, but it was nonetheless, she jumped up and put her foot in his face. That's what it did. And, she was apologizing, for what the guy was doing. And then they both look up, and they both recognize each other. It's the Lightning Girls from episode 1. Hikari and Hibiki, the Lightning Sekireis. And apparently, the guy that was trying to mooch off of Minato's lunch, was their Ashikabi. Sato. Sato is his name. And he's got a bit of a, he's kind of a mooch. That's all I can say. That's the word they kind of describe him throughout the series. He's a mooch. So, the next thing we see, as Sato was trying to introduce him, he kind of had his hands where it shouldn't have been on Hibiki, and let's just say that when it comes to putting Sato in line, they're not, they have no objections with doing that. Interesting. Next thing we see Kagari having a conversation with that scientist lady from earlier in the episode, that one that was with Kuzuno. And apparently an email was sent out by the head of MBI, that crazy dude with the white hair. And his name escapes me at the moment, I apologize. But it's not like I have a character list in front of me. I just watch the episodes, and I give you guys a review. Apparently, the head of the MBI sent out an email to all Ashikabis stating that, inside the arboretum is the green girl. First person to get there can make the green girl emerge. And MBI, to try to cover the fact that the green girl was there and Sekirei's and stuff like that, kind of put out a press release saying that they were going to, in conjunction with the city, were going to handle the arboretum and, with all the plants and the vegetation, the abnormal growth. And so because of that, Sato and Minato's job, they closed down early, and that's where Sato gets the idea to go after the green girl. Minato never got a message about the green girl, but Sato did, and so did Kagari, and Kagari went in his Hobara gear and was trying to protect the green girl, Kuzuno, now known as Sekirei 108. So Sato has Hikari and Hibiki kind of destroy the blockade from MBI, and they start to go into the forest, and trying to get a sense of direction as to where they're supposed to go. They're trying to find this little girl Kuzuno, and apparently Minato has a vision as to and she's pointing the way. It's an image of Kuzuno, and she's pointing the direction as to where she's hiding. Then, of course, the vision goes away, as Minato was trying to go after her, runs into Sato, and, of course, Sato... Anyway. Well, he doesn't play for that team, he's just kind of nuts. But, Sato's now convinced that he has to, he's going to help Minato find Kuzuno, the green girl. He doesn't know that her name's Minato, Kuzuno, and he doesn't know that Minato is actually having dreams of Kuzuno, but then he starts to realize that she's destined to be his Sekirei, and that's when he also starts, getting the idea that Sekirei are people, not possessions, because some Ashikamis are forcing Sekireis to emerge rather than waiting for them to find their destined ones. Now, the scythe-wielding Sekirei confronts Homura. Apparently, she's Sekirei number 42, Yomei. But Yomei did not come alone. Now, remember, I don't remember if I discussed it too much, but apparently there was a discarded Sekirei because the symbol was on her forehead. Angetsu is her name, and apparently she has the power of ice. Kind of like Homura has the power to wield fire, she has the power to wield ice. So, while those two were having a about to have that confrontation, Musabi comes up, and kind of says, hi, Kagari, because Kagari still had the same hairstyle no matter the mask, and then she turns around and sees that it's to do with a mask, and automatically assumes that it's not Kagari, it's somebody else, and, she, as she's leaving, she tells him to, take care of your cold. I don't know what that was about. But the reason Musabi was there, the reason why Musabi was looking for Minato, apparently she had a bad feeling that Minato was in danger or something like that. Not only that, but Minato forgot his cell phone and wanted to bring it back to him. So that kind of explains why Musabi was there. But Sato begins to explain, some of the fundamental basics of being an Ashikabi and the Sekireis and how to make them emerge. And he explains that the form of kissing, the act of kissing the Sekirei, is called mucosal contact. And what that means is it's allowing the Sekirei to react to the Ashikabi's DNA. And that's what causes the Sekirei to emerge. So, and then, of course, we have the explanation that some people, like the guy at the beginning of the episode going after Kuzuno, was trying to force Kuzuno to emerge against her will and make her his. So next thing you know, we go to Kuzuno, who's still hiding in the center of the arboretum, and she hears a noise, and she goes to check it out because she's curious, and then we see Yomei, Sekirei 42, the scythe-wielding Sekirei, and of course that means that Kuzuno is in danger. And Minato, being what now we assumed at this point her destined Ashikabi, senses that danger, and they start running towards where Kuzuno and Yomei are, and Minato kind of latches on to Yomei, and his hand was kind of her chest. Her boob, okay? I said it, her boob. Alright, and while Minato was holding Yomei down, that's when Hikari and Hibiki decided to, hey, lightning power, and shocked them both. And that's when Minato comes face to face with Kuzuno for the first time, and Kuzuno was asking, please help me, calling him her big brother. And as the scythe-wielding Sekirei comes back, Yomei, swings, at Minato, and then next thing you know, Musabi shows up, catches this scythe with her. Remember, she's got super strength, being a fist-type Sekirei, and breaks the blade off the scythe. However, that still wasn't enough to deter Yomei and her attacks, because apparently she also had the ability to wield an airstrike attack, a projectile sort of air attack, I guess you could. I'm trying to describe it as the best way I can. They don't really give it a name, but she would just swing the scythe, even though it still had a broken blade, and she would let loose an air-like projectile, and it would attack, Musabi. And of course, in this series, clothes come rip off quite easily in Sekirei. Let's just say in the 3 episodes so far that I've reviewed here on WGS-TV, there's been a lot of boobage. A lot of boobage. I'm not complaining about it, but it's an excessive amount of boobage. I don't know if the excessive amount of boobage was necessary, but again, I'm not complaining about it. Yeah. But anyway, of course, Sato kind of reacts, like a pervert, and of course, Hibiki like that puts him back in his place. Legacy. So they begin fighting, and we get our pardon me, we get our first real glimpse of a pure emerged Sekirei versus emerged Sekirei battle. We kind of get that first taste of it. I mean, we got We got a little bit of, a little bit of it in the first episode. When Hibiki and Hikari, if I'm saying that right. You try saying that 5 times fast. Went after Musabi. But now in episode 3, the Green Girl, now we have 2 emerged Sekireis going at it, and we kind of get a taste of their abilities, their powers, and what they do in battle, and what exactly they have to do to win. This is what Musabi does. She remembers her training with Mia and jumps over to one of the side attacks, rips off the dress, and reveals Yome's Sekirei symbol. She puts her finger on it, then it shouts that, recites that incantation, that's the very same incantation she did at the end of episode 1 before the big tornado happened, and it caused the Sekirei symbol on Yome to disappear, thus defeating her. And that's when she starts mentioning the name of her Ashikabi. And then they pan over to her Ashikabi. I'm trying to remember his name right off the bat here. But if the name comes to me, I'll give it to you guys. But you pan over to him in a limousine, and he senses that Yome's presence is disappeared, and calls her a useless girl, and then drives up with his car, tells Angitsu rather, I'm sorry, that that they're retreating for now, and she gets in the car, and Homura wants to know, why do they have Angitsu, who is a discarded number? And next thing you know, we pan back to the house. They have Kuzuno, and they come back to Maison Izumo, and Minato was sitting there, kind of describing their actions, to how they arrived at Maison Izumo with Kuzuno, and remember at the end of the beginning of episode 2, how they were falling down, and it kind of looked like a tree caught them, and that's what Kuzuno was talking about. Minato. Minato was telling her the story about it, and Kuzuno replies that Mikugami, by the way, guys, Mikugami is the name of the Ashikabi she was talking about. So that's his name. Mikugami was the Ashikabi at the beginning of episode 3, and he's the Ashikabi that was in the limousine. So back to what I was talking about. Minato was telling him the story of that, and Kusuno replies that, well, I heard someone say, "Help me." So she asked the tree to help them, and it did. Saved them from dying. And Minato thanked him for that, and then Kusuno gets up and asks for a favor from her big brother, and asked him to be her Ashikabi. After the kiss, she emerges. End of the episode. Really great episode. Now we see that Ashikabis can have more than one Sekirei. We also have the introduction of Hikari and Hibiki's Ashikabi, which is Seido, and he's kind of a mooch. Really great story, and it's really starting to get interesting now. Also getting the taste of our first real emerged Sekirei versus emerged Sekirei battle. So, a really great episode. Really good way to really go on about the story. Now, on the next installment of the WGS-TV anime reviews, we're going to go to episode 4 of Sekirei, Strange Story about Izumo. That's all I'm going to say. Very interesting story, and we kind of get we try to pick up where Minato leaves off in the story. So it'd be very interesting to see where it goes. If you guys have any thoughts you would like to make, again, please put them in the comment section below. Be sure to remember to like and favorite the video. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to WGS-TV at youtube.com/WrestleGamer. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Bujo saying thank you very much for watching.